Have you ever stopped and wondered about the one thing missing from Cristiano Ronaldo's legendary career? Not the goals, not the Champions League titles, not the Ballon d'Or awards, not the records that seem impossible to break. Just one trophy: the FIFA World Cup. For almost 2 decades, Ronaldo has conquered nearly every challenge football could throw at him. He dominated England, Spain, and Italy. He became Portugal's greatest player ever. He scored goals at a rate few players in history could match. Yet despite everything he has achieved, football's biggest prize continues to slip through his fingers. And the uncomfortable truth is that it may never happen. But before you call this disrespectful, let's look at the reality. Because this isn't about Ronaldo's greatness. It's about how brutally difficult the World Cup really is. To understand why, we need to go back to the beginning. When Cristiano Ronaldo made his international debut in 2003, Portugal believed they had found the player who would finally lead them to football immortality. The talent was obvious. The confidence was obvious. And as the years passed, expectations only grew. Every tournament felt like it could be the one. Euro 2004, World Cup 2006,
Euro 2008, World Cup 2010, Euro 2012, World Cup 2014. The opportunities kept coming. And yet the ultimate prize remained out of reach. In 2006, Portugal came closest. They reached the semi-finals and looked capable of competing with anyone. Ronaldo was still young, surrounded by experienced teammates, and many believed it was only a matter of time before Portugal reached a World Cup final. But football rarely follows the script people expect. Years passed. Generations changed. And somehow, despite Ronaldo becoming better and better as an individual player, Portugal never became a dominant World Cup force. That's where the first major problem begins. Winning a World Cup is not like winning a league title. You can't simply be the best player. You need the right squad, the right manager, the right tacticals,
The right timing, and sometimes a little luck. Look at the players who lifted the World Cup. Many were part of extraordinary national teams. Football history is filled with legends who never won it, despite being among the greatest players ever. The World Cup doesn't always reward the best player. It often rewards the best team. And for most of Ronaldo's career, Portugal simply didn't have the depth that football superpowers possessed. Countries like Brazil, France, Germany, and Argentina could replace world-class players with other world-class players. Portugal couldn't always do that, which meant that every tournament demanded perfection. And perfection is impossible to maintain over 7 matches against the best teams on earth. Then there is the second problem: time. The one opponent nobody defeats, not even Cristiano Ronaldo. One of the most remarkable aspects of Ronaldo's career is his longevity. Most players decline in their early 30s. Ronaldo kept scoring. Most players disappear from the internet, kept competing. Most players retire. Ronaldo kept chasing new records. But even the greatest athlete eventually feels the effects of age. The speed changes. The recovery changes. The explosiveness changes. And at the World Cup level, tiny differences become enormous. The margins are incredibly small. One missed chance, one defensive mistake, one bad day. That's all it takes. And as players get older,
those margins become harder to overcome. This creates a painful reality. Every World Cup may be Ronaldo's last realistic opportunity. Not because he isn't great anymore, but because football waits for nobody. Then came another challenge, the rise of stronger competition. When Ronaldo first appeared on the international scene, football looked very different. Today, the game is deeper than ever. National teams are more organized. Tactics are more advanced. The gap between countries has shrunk. Underdogs can eliminate favorites. We've seen giants fall repeatedly.
And this unpredictability makes the World Cup even harder to win. A single bad performance can end 4 years of preparation. Just ask the countless legends who learned that lesson the hard way. But perhaps the biggest obstacle isn't tactical, it isn't physical, it isn't even football related. It's pressure. Because no player in modern football has carried expectations quite like Cristiano Ronaldo. Every touch is analyzed. Every missed chance becomes a headline. Every tournament becomes a judgment on his legacy. Imagine entering a World Cup knowing that millions of people believe your entire career depends on one trophy. That's not normal pressure. That's historical pressure. And it grows heavier with every tournament. The strange thing is that Ronaldo doesn't actually need a World Cup to be remembered as one of the greatest players ever. His achievements already guarantee that. The records, the goals, the longevity,
The influence. Those things cannot be erased. Yet football fans are obsessed with complete stories. And in many people's minds, the World Cup represents the final chapter, the final piece, the final validation. Whether that's fair or not is another debate entirely. Because football history is full of players whose greatness was never defined by one tournament. Still, the conversation remains. Can Ronaldo finally do it? Or has the opportunity already passed? The answer may be uncomfortable. Portugal remains a strong team. They have talented players. They have experience. And in football, surprises happen every year. No one can completely rule out the possibility. But if we're being realistic, the challenge has never been bigger. The clock is ticking. The competition is stronger. And World Cups offer no second chances. That's why Ronaldo may never lift football's greatest trophy. Not because he failed. Not because he wasn't good enough. Not because he lacked determination. But because sometimes the biggest prize in sport demands more than greatness. It demands timing. It demands circumstances. It demands a little bit of luck. And those are things even the greatest player cannot fully control. So if Ronaldo never lifts the World Cup, what does that really change? Maybe less than people think. Because long after trophies are forgotten, records are broken, and generations move on, one thing will remain. Cristiano Ronaldo changed football forever. And whether he wins the World Cup or not, that legacy is already secure. The only question left is whether football's greatest trophy ever become part of the story, or whether it will remain the one dream that even Cristiano Ronaldo couldn't catch.